Camera. If you're not familiar with me, I am a trainer, a nutritionist, a dancer, very much into Afro-Indigenous culture. I travel a lot. That's just a brief background on who I am in case you're unfamiliar. So I'm sitting by the beach right now. I have my earphones in so you can hear me. I'm in the lovely Puerto Escondido on the coast of the state of Oaxaca in Mexico. You see? So on the Pacific coast, not the Caribbean. Okay? See? Lots of lovely rocks. Oops. So I want to talk about why I like it here, okay? This is my second time in Mexico. My first time in Mexico was last month when I went to Tulum and Playa del Carmen in a town called Puerto Morelos. And this trip, January 2021, I came to Mexico City, which I absolutely love. I did a video about that. And I will be doing more videos about Mexico City. So I spent about 4 days in Mexico City, and then I flew over to Puerto Escondido on the coast of Oaxaca, okay? And over here, I actually like it over here a lot better than the Tulum Playa del Carmen, except that side of the country, that area in the Tulum Playa del Carmen, Cancun area, there's a lot of cenotes. And cenotes are something that's very special, and I think unique to Mexico. I don't even know if there are other places. I think maybe one in Belize, but I think it's just unique to that area. And it has to do with a meteor or asteroid hitting the earth, and it's these underground caves. Look them up. It's hard for me to explain. I don't want to be giving the wrong information. But cenotes are very spiritual, powerful, sacred spaces in the Quintana Roo part of Mexico, in the Yucatan Peninsula. So that's one thing that's over there that's very unique. But the Tulum, Playa del Carmen area is really expensive. I feel like I spend more money there than I do in the U.S., just as much as I could spend in the U.S. or more, depending on where in the U.S. you're talking about. It's really overpriced, very crowded. And Tulum is nice, but it's very spread out. And access to the beach is not easy in Tulum. You don't even see the beach in Tulum. Okay, you have to go out your way to get to the beach. And you have to pay money or go really far to find a free beach. And the beaches, they're okay, they're beautiful. But over here, it is COVID right now, so it's probably not as crowded as usual. But even without that, I think it's still probably less crowded over here because you probably never heard of Puerto Escondido, have you? It's a very small airport. I flew here from I flew here from Mexico City. It was a $45 flight from Mexico City to Puerto Escondido. And it cost like 70 pesos to take a colectivo to my Airbnb. My Airbnb is about $30 a night. It's very nice bathroom, which really matters. It's walking distance from restaurants and stuff. And this area has a lot of different beaches and beach areas, and then the town goes up into the hills. Okay, so I like places that are also hilly and mountainous, mind you, with these beautiful rocks behind me. That's something I love about New York State. I love these rocks, and rocks on the beach is dope. But even I don't know if you can see behind me because of the sun, but when you walk away from the beach, you immediately start going uphill. Like my Airbnb is 1 block from the beach, and I have to walk up a steep hill that wears me out. I'm always exhausted and out of breath. So it goes very steep up into the hills. So this area is very hilly as well. And when you go up into the hills, there's a lot of restaurants, things to buy, good food, and it's cheap. It's very cheap. Last night I had 2 Mescalitas. Mescalitas are like margaritas, but they're made with mezcal instead of tequila. Mezcal is the alcohol of choice around in Oaxaca. It's what defines Oaxaca more than tequila. Apparently it's similar to tequila. Some people say it's a derivative, some people say it's not. I'm not an alcohol expert, but a mezcalita is made with mezcal and not tequila. And I had a maracuya y mango, right? A passion fruit one and a mango one. Two for $4, okay? 80 pesos. That's like $4 in US dollars. And they were good quality, good, in a beautiful place, okay? This morning I had enmoladas de huevos, which is like eggs, and it's a Oaxacan breakfast. It's eggs with like tortillas and mole sauce and cheese and onions, and then hot chocolate, which Oaxaca is known for its chocolate, okay? So, and there's a hot chocolate drinking culture in the morning, something I also discovered in Cartagena, Colombia. Cartagena, Colombia, a lot of people will be selling hot chocolate in the morning. And mind you, chocolate also contains caffeine. Caffeine is in coffee, tea, and chocolate, okay? And I prefer tea. I am a caffeine person. I prefer to consume yerba mate or matcha, but sometimes that's hard to find. Like I could find that. I bring my own yerba mate with me, and I can find matcha or good chai in Mexico City. And if I get a chai, I'll add my mate to it. But sometimes in Spanish-speaking countries, like, you won't always find tea, okay? Even in the U.S., there's places I've been. I was in a country in Maryland in November, and I couldn't find any chai tea, right? To at least, and definitely I couldn't find matcha. So I prefer matcha or yerba mate. And if if I'm traveling, I have my own yerba mate that I'll buy a chai and I put it in there. Here, I haven't been able to find any tea, so it really is coffee or hot chocolate, right? But the hot chocolate is really, really good quality chocolate. And so I had orange juice with strawberry orange juice. I'm not a big fan of orange juice, but it was fresh squeezed orange juice with strawberry juice. I had two of those because I was really thirsty. I had this big, beautiful hot chocolate and the huevos enmoladas, and that was $7.50 for all of that. And it was good food, good quality food. Okay. And so yeah, right now I'm going to talk more about the food and stuff in the videos I do on my page on the Body Scientist 81, because I am a nutritionist and I study food quality and access to good quality food and everywhere I go. So I do videos about that, and I will be doing that on my YouTube page. Another thing, I'm sorry, I'm like out of breath. Another thing about this area is that, unlike Mexico City, there is no Uber. There's no Uber in Tulum either, in that Cancun area. But there's no Uber over here. So you take taxis, you have to pay with cash. But they're cheap. Like taking a taxi to the airport, I think is 100 pesos. That's $5, So unlike Tulum and Playa, Cancun area, they're not overcharging you over here for taxis, okay? There are a lot of tourists. I mean, kind of. Most of the tourists that are over here are white. Canadians, I guess. Americans, I guess. I don't know. I'm only assuming. The collectivo that I came over here in, there were a lot of French people on that. They were all speaking French. And there was one white woman from Mexico City. I don't see a lot of black or Asian visitors, but they mostly seem white, but they are have a bohemian vibe type white people. I've seen a couple of black men since I've been over here, and one black woman. No, two black women since I've been over here, but it's not a lot of us, at least not while I'm here right now. But the vibes over here are cool. There's a cute Brazilian bikini store. I only like to buy my swimsuits in Miami, in Florida, because I like Brazilian, Colombian, Venezuelan swimsuits. I hate American cut swimsuits. And in the US, you can only find those in Florida, not in Cali, not nowhere else. But here, and the only other time I found cute swimsuits in a beach town was in Cartagena. But here in Puerto Escondido, I found a store called Amazonia, and it's Brazilian style bikinis. So I love that. There are a lot of bikini stores around here because it is a beach town, but that place in particular has their Brazilian cut, which I would show you I'm wearing right now, but it's too hard to be. It's too hard to be my own camera person. What else do I want to say? Lots of good food. It's cheap. It's affordable. I feel safe. It's hot as fuck over here. Okay, super hot. Which of course I love the sun. But the first day I was here, I was like, I got a headache, I think, from being dehydrated. So I definitely have to make sure to keep drinking fluids because the sun here is super intense. And there's warm nights. So unlike Tulum and Playa, it doesn't get chilly at night, okay? It's hot in the daytime and it's warm at night. I have not needed to put a jacket on at all. Okay, I don't have to put a jacket on at night because it's getting chilly. There's taxis everywhere, they're cheap, there's lots of, I definitely plan on coming back here again, for sure, sooner than later. Because it's easy to get around, it's cheap, even though, you know, there's no Uber, the taxis are really cheap, they're everywhere. It is bike friendly for people who, are into bike riding, minus the hills, but like up and down the beach. The strip is kind of like Miami Beach, but it's not really that busy, so it's very, you know, bike friendly. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's probably things I'm gonna remember that I want to say that I didn't say in this video. Whatever I didn't remember to say, I'll say in the next video. But yeah. Definitely, I would say check out this part of Mexico. I do know that there's a nude beach around here. I don't know if I'm going to have time to go to it because I'm leaving tomorrow. But when I come back, I will. Just because, you know, we need to get sun on as much of our skin as possible in order to get our vitamin D. And even then, we still need to get it from our food, which is something I talk about a lot in my nutrition videos. So if you don't follow me on my YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81, be sure to. And if you don't follow me on my IG page at _body_scientist, be sure to, because you learn a lot. But the darker your skin is, the more sun you need. And you need it on as much of your skin as possible. If it's just on your arms and your face, that's not enough, okay? I have detailed videos where I talk about that. I will post them below on this YouTube channel. But, you know, I'm from New York, I live in Chicago, but warm weather in the sun is just a quick flight away. I don't mind the snow. I actually like snowstorms. I don't hate the winter. I appreciate seasons. But just for my sanity, for research purposes, and so I can get some fresh air because I can't stay cooped up in the house looking at the same thing all the time. So for my own sanity, I had to get out. But another thing about here, it's kind of like Miami in the sense, Miami, Playa, Tulum, they weren't as anal about masks as they were like in Mexico City or in New York City or in Chicago. Like in the northern places, they seem to be more anal about the mask. Here, it's kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes they tell you have to have on a mask. Sometimes you go in a business and nobody has on a mask. Not the people that work there, not the people who are in there. And I actually like that. Okay, I prefer that. And before those of you who want to come at me, tell me that I'm contributing to killing the world because I'm not a fan of masks, chill out. Go look at my videos on my YouTube page, The Body Scientist 81, where I explain why I have that stance, okay? But tomorrow I'll be taking my COVID test. We have to have a negative COVID test now before we go back into the US, so I'll be taking that test tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be negative and I'll be back. So I'm going back to Mexico City to do that. It's also cheaper to fly out of here. It's cheaper to fly here from another city because this airport here is so small that like a direct flight here out of here is like $500. Whereas like I paid like $120 to fly from Chicago to Mexico City. Stayed in Mexico City for 4 days. I paid $45 to fly from Mexico City here. And then I'm paying $45 to fly back from here back to Mexico City, okay? And I can get my COVID test in Mexico City. And flying here seems to be the easiest way to get here because it's a long, like 11-hour drive from Mexico City. So you could take the bus, but it's a 1-hour flight, $45. That's what I prefer to do. Okay.